Hello guys, so I guess the time has come again with an updated atomic video. So yes, I have gone back atomic. Before I was Earth, Rage. Now I'm back atomic. Yeah. So now with this particular build, it's an updated build by the way. And so before I go into anything, just going to go down to the basics of my skill points. So I've gone super powered. I can go hybrid, but I lose a lot of power in PvP duels or outside duels with villains. So superpowered is the best way to go. Go 10 into healing chance and magnitude, and go full dominance, full health. Then in iconic powers tree, Amazonian deflection if you ever need it. Hardlord shield, of course. Your one of your supercharges, which is called Pheromone Bloom, if I pronounced that right. And then weapons, it doesn't really matter, you can choose any weapon you want. With the acrobatics, I have gone into, made sure I've got these two here so I can, glide across the city, the map, wherever I need to go. And I also made sure I got back all of the stun resistance, because they do give you power back when you block break. Okay, so make sure you get these, and then you can get devastating flip, supercharge, and then the perfect poise. I got this just in case I ever need to use it. So yeah, and now onto the loadout itself. So atomic splitter. So you can use atomic splitter, but if you get stunned mid combo, let's say I got stunned right there. So now I have to wait to hold 1 or 2 seconds. Let's say I got stunned again. I have to wait again. So now if you don't want to use atomic splitter, you don't have to. But I personally use it against controllers, mental controllers who go inside invisible. And this atomic splitter tends to stun them while they're inside invisible. And it slows them down as well. And sometimes it even breaks them out. So that's the only reason why I use atomic splitter. You don't have to. You can use thermochemical explosion, or you can use any of the ranged moves, which is neutron bomb and beta surge. Where's it gone? There you go. So you can use these, totally down to you, but I would personally recommend thermochemical explosion or atom splitter. Okay, so atom splitter or thermochemical explosion, proton remedy, because this is based off your health only. The combos are based off your dominance, 40%, but then this power is 100% of your health. So the higher health you have, the more you will heal over time. I think it gives you around 5 to 6 heal crits. And then you have your Hardlord shield. You can use density, but density is much weaker compared to Hardlord shield. But density does give you some what's it called, 10% control resistance. So you can use that if you get stunned too much fighting a certain individual. You can switch it out, but note your shield will be much weaker. Okay, so Hardlord shield is what I use, and then Unleashed Antimatter. The only reason I use this is because of the supercharge generator. As you can see in the title, every time I hit this, it allows me to build supercharge over time. And then the two supercharges I use is Perfect Poise, because it's a shield, and it also removes crowd control and damage for a short time. And then this one here is heals me over time. Enemies will be knocked back and stunned. So now I have one move that stuns, one move that protects me as a shield, and one move that heals. So with the combination is perfect. If you are struggling to heal yourself when dueling someone or against certain villains, maybe 2 or 3 of them, if you do want to push this very far, you can go 3 supercharges, which is why I had Devastating Flip, because this also damages and knocks back enemies. So you can go 3 supercharges, but I think that's going to be overkill, and you won't be able to regen enough supercharge to even sustain a 3 supercharge build. So 2 supercharges is enough, or even 1. You can even use 1 and go against a enemy, so you have 2 shields going off just with 1. But with the cooldown, you may, with the cooldown of the supercharges, you may need to use a rotation of 2, because you may encounter someone in a duel who's doing very heavy damage, and you may need to spam 2 instead of 1. So when you spam this is off cooldown anyways. You can hit it again as long as you keep on spamming this power. So that's a loadout done and dusted out the way. Now in regards to my artifacts, so I am nearly full 101. My main pieces are all 101 except for my ring, neck and weapon. Everything else is 101. Utility about 99, PvP doesn't matter about the rest. So that's my gear. As you can see, it's 100, still missing 201 pieces. And my basic stats are, let's go to stats, 43k health, it's around 6.7k dom, and my toughness, well, everyone's toughness will be the same, 12,500. Okay, so because this is a pure tank build, your might will be low, so really your precision. The only thing that you need to focus on is your dominance and health. So now in regards to artifacts, there are 2 ways you can do this. So you either want, so if you do want to go for faster shields spams, you can put in manacles and get the absorption and reduction of all shields by 10%. Or you can use a scrap of soul cloak, which increases your supercharge regeneration, and it reduces your supercharge cooldowns by 20%. So the more supercharges you can spam, the longer you can live against multiple villains or in a duel. So that's the 2 ways you can do this build. You can either go pure shields and take little damage, but you won't be able to spam your supercharges as quick compared to having scrap of soul cloak. So that's 2 ways of doing it, but I personally prefer this way of doing it. I've tested it, it works perfectly. Right now I am trying to get this to 200, because at 200 it gives you that 7% max supercharge after using a supercharge ability. So every time I use a supercharge I get 7% supercharge back. So now when you're fighting someone in duels, always make sure you're always using PvP gear. You may get some controllers using hand mods with the PvE gear. Don't do that with this particular build, because you will start to run out of power a lot. But if you are fighting against multiple enemies, like in Little Behemoth like I do, let's say you're fighting against 5 villains or 6 villains, you may need to use your PvE gear for the stats. So I'm using the elite headpiece, and they also have a mod in there which gives me supercharge back every time I use perfect poise. Then I have the OP back. In here I have the mod for density, but that's for PvE. So the one I would replace that with would be, let's go to the back, is accelerated unleash antimatter. So the more times I can spam unleash antimatter, which is this power, to get my supercharge back, the faster I can get my supercharge generated. Very simple. And you can use a neck socket if you want. You can either put a might in there, or you can put restoration. For the restoration stat, it's totally down to you as an individual, but this particular neck drop is what I use. I got this from one of the older Wonder Woman missions, but I know this drops in the vault as well. And as you can see in the green writing, each time you attack an opponent, you have a chance to gain 150 supercharge over 5 seconds. So with all of these 3 items in, let's go back to my stats. So now as you can see, my toughness has gone down by around 2k. So that's the only issue with this loadout. You will take more damage, but with the stats, it does give you nearly 9.7k dom and 57k health, so it does even it out. So this way of dueling with Atomic, only do it when you're fighting against more than 3 people. If you try this 1 versus 1, you will die because of your reduced toughness. You'll be taking too much damage and you will end up dying in the duel. So make sure you are full PvP and having 1 versus 1s. But if you're fighting against multiple enemies, do what I just did. Put in your OP back or OP items, same with the OP neck, which I haven't got yet, which I will use once I have it to get the extra stats. And that's about it really for this build. Very simple. Get your aura, hit your unleash antimatter, hard light shield, and keep on spamming your combos. Every time that's off cooldown, hit it again. Every time your proton remedy is off cooldown, hit it again. You can clip it like that as well, or clip unleash antimatter with proton remedy. And then in regards to the other side of the loadout is going to be your utility belt. So this is what I would use personally. So I have a dampening shield for the extra shield if you ever need it. Health trinket, tank trinket, so it gives me damage health. What I do usually do is I clip my tank trinket with my proton remedy. Since this is based off your health, 100% of your health. So now if you add 15,000 to that, that's going to give me a lot of health. So if I clip it with proton remedy, it'll instantly get me to full health. And you can clip your breakout trinket with your proton remedy as well if you're getting heal debuffed by someone in a duel, or they're throwing PvP grenades at you to remove your shields, which does hurt. So you can clip this with your supercharges or your proton remedy, and it will get you to instant full health. This works for healer roles as well, and in DPS role it works in arenas as well. All you do is clip your PvP trinket, breakout trinket with your soda, you get instant health if you're fighting against a controller who is heal debuffing you. And then in regards to the soda is the bottled city soda, because it gives me 90% of health, and it also gives me the tank roll absorption damage up to 8% of max health. So that'll work for me as well. Gives me that extra damage absorption. And you can get this from the space vendor. And then I have the supply drop, of course. You can switch this out. You can either have a sidekick, which can shield you as well, or you can have an orbital, or you can have chroma emitters to stun your enemies. You can pretty much put anything in there, but I prefer a supply drop just in case I ever need it. I could use some of these Death Blossom seeds, which has a chance to heal me as a user, or I can use this one as well, which gives me 5% health. So this build, you can personalize it however you want in the utility part of the area. So you can go all damage in here and then heal like a god with a normal order. It's totally down to you as an individual. So hopefully this build helps someone out on any server, whoever's watching, because this build is practically unbeatable 1 versus 1. There's no way you can lose as long as you get these two artifacts. Your third one, you can choose Manacles or Scrap or Soul Clock, or you can just simply choose a damage artifact, so you can do a bit of damage as you spam supercharges. It's totally down to you. But if you're fighting mentor controllers, you may want to get rid of any might artifacts and just purely go 100% tanker based, so you can take the hits. So thank you for watching. If you do have any questions, please let me know and I will do my best to answer them for you.